obviously the big injury that we got to talk about here is the Kemba knee thing. How worried are you about Kemba's knee and how the Celtics are going to try and manage that throughout the entire season?
I mean, I think now at this point, if you say you're not at least a little bit concerned from the Celtics perspective, then I don't know if you're crazy, if you're a liar. I'm not really sure, but I think you have to be worried, right?
Yeah.
Because this is an injury where even after he had that long layoff before the bubble and he took it very easy on it, got treatment on it, still it was a problem in the bubble. It was very evident that he was not 100%. And now he's going to miss, some significant time early in the season. And it just seems like it's lingering. And I know they've sought the advice of a lot of medical professionals.
Yeah.
And I am not a doctor. I have no idea really what the smart method here is. Clearly, they went with the right one with the stem cell injection, and he seemed very happy with it. The Celtics seem happy with it, and hopefully that's a good way to manage him going forward. Long term, it has to be a concern because it's just been lingering. And so, when you talk to people around the league about Kemba's knee, everyone will say, yeah, Kemba's had knee problems since he was at Rice in high school. This has always kind of been a thing. So it's whether it's managing it moving forward, whether it's next offseason, do they look towards surgery if that's still hanging around? I'm not really sure, but you have to be concerned at this point. It just, from a long-term perspective, you got to be a little worried.
It just bums me out because you have, Isaiah Thomas, unfortunately, with his injuries, got shipped out. Kyrie was never Kyrie, and the Kyrie they were looking for never really facilitated because his knee issues in the first year, and then, of course, he checked out at the end of the second year. Gordon Hayward, we can go all day on Gordon Hayward's injury troubles, and it's just been frustrating. I'll be honest, I was shocked last year that Marcus kind of made it through the whole year without getting hurt because it seems like right before the year starts, and like in whether it was with Summer League or whether it was in the preseason, like Marcus would do something stupid. And I'm not saying stupid, but like it's hard to turn off your competitiveness when you're Marcus Smart. He would always do something ridiculous to get hurt in the first like a week out of the season. You're like, Marcus, like it's 35-12 in the third preseason game. Like, chill out, guy.
Diving through the front row, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude, save that for the regular season. Like, chill out. But like this Kemba thing, I am concerned. And it's just because you saw him before the injury. He was exactly what they needed. And it's funny to see his style contrasted with Kyrie, contrasted with Isaiah. Kemba's such a great north-south player. And he doesn't really – the one thing that would drive me crazy about Kyrie, and it drives people crazy about Harden too, where you like just fool around and try and get guys off balance with dribbles and then find the right angle and attack. Like Kemba doesn't waste time. Catches the ball on the deck, sprints to the basket, and like gets the angle that way. And they desperately need that. And because they're not – as much as I've been impressed with Jalen's ball handling ability, like him getting into the lane – off his dribble all the time is something that's just not going to happen. And Tatum's working on that and that part of his game. But Kemba's really the only guy on their roster with actual NBA experience of doing that over and over and over again. And you need someone like that. And I mean, you're not going to need it when you play the Knicks or whatever, but you're going to need that when you play some of these upper echelon teams, guys that can get in the paint, either draw contact, get to the free throw line, or kick it out to open three-point shooters. There's nobody else on the team that can do that with the same consistency. And their offense, as you saw throughout the postseason there, when they can't get that, it just really bogs down, and it becomes like way too hero ball-y, and that's not what this team needs, Chris, at all.
Yeah, you need a creator like Kemba to kind of bring it all together. And you're right. If you don't have that, it can create some issues. It can create some pretty stagnant offensive patterns, which we've seen in plenty of third quarters over the last couple of years that it can get ugly pretty quickly. So yeah, that's totally a problem. I think on a positive standpoint, if you're trying to pull a positive from this, which there really isn't many, but Kemba, it helps that Kemba is such a good teammate and a good guy, because when you have guys like Tremont and Payton Pritchard and Carson Edwards, to have a guy like Kemba around, hurt or not, it still does matter. Last year he's talked a lot about working with Tremont Waters and kind of taking him under his wing a little bit. Like that does go a long way for younger guys. So if you're trying to get a kid like Payton Pritchard to contribute right off the bat, it's not a bad thing to have Kemba Walker there working with him and talking to him off the floor. Obviously he can't run with him on the floor and work through different drills, but that does go a long way too. So it is still beneficial for the younger guys, but from an offensive standpoint, it's going to be tough as Jeff Teague kind of gets used to the Celtics system, because he's not as explosive as he used to be. He's not as quick off the dribble as he used to be, but he's still effective. And he was in kind of a tough spot last season. So I'm very curious to see what he can bring to the offense and how quickly he can sort of find his rhythm in Brad's system.